Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm Blackwell, and today we're going to be talking about my reading and channel goals. So in 2024, or I guess at the end of 2023, whichever, I didn't really make any 2024 goals for either my reading or my channel, and I feel like that showed. I did not prioritize either my reading or my channel in 2024. I went through multiple reading slumps. I went through multiple long periods of time where I wasn't posting, and I was just basically having trouble figuring it all out. And I feel like that showed. And so I was like, no, this year I'm going to do goals. I'm going to make goals for 2025 for both like my personal reading and for what I want to do with my channel. And I just thought that would make a big difference. I even had issues with my reading goal in terms of the Goodreads, like the number of books I was reading in 2024. My original goal, that was the only goal I made for 2025, was 150, and I think I had to drop it down to 100. I ended up making 100 books read in 2024, but just barely. As of today, which is the 22nd of December, I have read 102 books. So I've met my reading goal, but I definitely have not read as many books as I would like to have. The last 2 years I read more books than that. It was just not a good reading year for me, to be honest. And I just want 2025 to be different. So I think starting out fresh with a set of goals, with things in mind, with goals I want to achieve and ideas of what I want my year to look like, and so that I can then follow through with that. I think that's going to make a big difference. So let's start out with the first most, I guess, obvious goal for my reading, and that is the Goodreads goal. Yes, I still use Goodreads. I know there's a lot of other reading apps out there. It's just the one that works for me. There's issues with Goodreads. Obviously, we all know that, but I still like to use Goodreads. My main goal for books read in 2025 is going to be 120 books. Now, this is based on a monthly goal of reading 10 books per month times 12 months is going to be 120. I think that is totally doable for me as long as I don't hit any major multiple months long slumps again. And some of my other goals that we are going to talk about will hopefully combat that happening. I really want to read at least 120 books. I don't think that's going to be difficult. In fact, I do have a personal stretch goal of 150, but that's like not my official goal. That's just, that would be nice. But 120, that would make me happy. I would be really good with reading an average of 10 books per month. And I really do think that's doable. Like a month like this month, I have read 9 books and DNF'd 2 books so far this month. So I will be hitting over that goal. And it's not like I've been reading, for me personally, like super fast or anything like that. Like I've had months where I read way more. So I think this is totally doable. Yes, I have stretch goals, but 120 would make me so happy. So my second big reading goal is to continue and finish series in 2025. Now, I have made a series priority list that I will link up here and down in the description as well, so that you can check out all the series that I'd like to continue and or finish in 2025. I'm really going to take that seriously. And the reason I say that is, like, I picked series that I really want to continue on in. I did not include series that I'm not sure that I want to continue with. I DNFs, like, in my brain, have DNFs of series. They're soft DNFs, but I've decided, hey, I'm not going to prioritize those anymore. If I want to go back to them in a few years, I can just reread the first book or two and continue on. But for now, they're not the series that I want to take seriously and really prioritize in 2024. So if you want to know the series that I want to prioritize in 2024, there's 27 of them. Then you can watch the video, like I said, up in the cards down below in the description. Some of these series are really long, and I'm obviously not going to be able to finish them in 2025. Like Ice Planet Barbarians, for example. I'm definitely not going to finish that one in 2025. I might finish like the main one, but then there's like a bunch of other series that are kind of part of it continuing on. So I guess it depends on how you define IPB. I will probably not finish that in 2025, but there are some series that I do want to finish. Like I would really like to finish Zodiac Academy. Now that does mean reading 3 chunkers in 2025, but I think it's doable. Zodiac Academy books are pretty fast-paced. Also, if we're looking at the number of series that I really want to pick up and start in 2025, I really need to be finishing some series. So I definitely am prioritizing finishing out series in 2025. More specifically even, I would like to binge some series. I just binged Tessa Hale's Dragon Shifter series. The first book was Twilight and Embers, or Twilight of Embers, I don't know. But the point is, I binged that whole series. It was a trilogy, and I had so much fun just binging it and starting and finishing it. And then it's like you've started a new series, but you've also finished it, so it doesn't kind of like add more stress or more to the list of things you need to get to, basically. I would like to binge more series. I also feel like it adds to the enjoyment of the series because you don't leave the world, you are staying connected with the characters, you're not forgetting anything, no plot points, no characters, anything like that. So I think that binging is definitely the way to go when I can. I want to try to do that at least a few times in 2025 where I just pick up a new series and I finish it out. Or maybe I pick up book 2 in a series and then read book 3 right afterwards. Now that being said, binging a series also means reading what I want, because sometimes maybe only the first or second book are on my TBR for that month, but I decide, no, I want to stay in this world, I want to keep reading, I want to binge it, I want to read what I want. So that could mean a lot of different things. If I make a TBR and I only end up reading a couple of books on that TBR that month because I didn't want to slump and I wanted to prioritize enjoyment, that's okay. I do want to be telling you guys the right books that I want to read, but at the same time, I don't want to risk going into a slump just to do that. So I will be prioritizing my TBRs, but I'm not going to risk putting myself into a slump just to complete them. Another reading goal that I have for myself is to finish my bingo board. If you missed it, for my 25 books in 2025, I did make a romantasy bingo board. You guys are welcome to save it and fill out your own TBRs or use it throughout the year to complete, just to be able to try different things to make sure you are reading diversely in terms of like different shifters or vampires or fae or different themes and tropes and things like that. It's just a really fun bingo board that I had a lot of fun making, so I want to make sure I'm using it. Now I did make a TBR for it, but I'm not necessarily concerned with making sure I'm reading every book that was on the TBR for it, though I do want to read those books. I'm going to be putting on there, like every time I finish a book for a certain category, that book. If I've moved a book from one trope to like one spot to a different spot, then that's okay too. For example, I've already read one book that I put on my 2025 bingo board, and it's still 2024, so obviously that is not going to be on there anymore. That was How Does It Feel by Janine Riley, and I've already read it, so for that prompt, I'll have to pick a different book, for example. So my concern is just that I want to fill out and finish and black out the bingo board, no matter what that means, like no matter which books I'm using to do so. Okay, let's move on to content goals. So this is going to be YouTube, Patreon, and Instagram. So let's start with YouTube. Okay, for YouTube, I would like to be posting 2 videos per week. So in November and December, I was posting a lot. I was posting a 3 videos per week schedule. And while that was fun to do, especially during like the height of posting when there's a lot of super fun fall and then winter content, end of year content, things like that to do, I think that's great to up the schedule, and I still will hopefully up the schedule for different periods of time throughout 2025. But my main minimum goal is I want to have a steady posting schedule of Tuesdays and Fridays. That could also change depending on family dynamics, things with our schedule, like my personal schedule and my kids' schedule, my husband's schedule, things like that. But for now, I'm thinking I'm going to do Tuesdays and Fridays, but either way, 2 videos per week on YouTube. For YouTube as well, I feel weird doing a subscriber goal because, I mean, you really don't really have much control over your subscriber count. Like, that's not up to you. To make a goal is kind of like hard to do, but right now I think that 3,000 by the end of 2025 is doable. I think that that will be a doable thing for me. So I'm going to say 3,000. I might have a stretch goal, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep that private and personal for me. But I think 3,000 is totally doable. More, I just want to be sticking to that 2 videos per week. I want to be chatting with people in the comments. I want to be part of the community. I want to take part in readathons. I want to take part in collaborations. I want to have fun with the community. I want to stick with just having fun and posting regularly, not going into a YouTube or reading slump. So 3,000 I think is doable, basic kind of goal for me. Like I said, I really don't have that much control over it. Okay, let's move on to Patreon goals. So I'm going to be sticking with the Patreon, doing 1 readathon per season. So that's 4 readathons per year. Now I'm adding in that I am going to be doing a reading vlog that will be available for every paid tier in my Patreon. So up until now, the chamomile tea tier does not get exclusive videos on Patreon, but that is changing. They are now getting 4 videos that are exclusive to Patreon per year, 1 for each readathon. I'll be vlogging my readathon experience. It's gonna be so much freaking fun. We have now voted through basically every aspect of our winter readathon. I had all of my Patreons voting for when they wanted it to take place, what they wanted the theme to be, like all of that jazz, like how long they wanted it to last. So we are doing a 3-day novella themed readathon on the 10th through the 12th of January. And that is called Novellas for the New Year Readathon. And I'm super excited for it. I'm so excited to make my TBR, and I will be vlogging that experience. And that vlog will be available for every tier of my Patreon, which is just 2 tiers, but it'll be available for the chamomile tea tier and the red wine tier. Sticking with the theme of videos for Patreon, I'm going to be upping my minimum videos for my red wine tier from 1 video per month to 2. And I'm going to be concentrating on doing a lot of vlogs for them as well. So 2 videos per month for my red wine tier. So months that we're doing readathons, Patreon in general, or the red wine tier will be getting at least 3 videos per month. I do have some stretch goals, some additional videos I want to do, but the minimum videos per month that the red wine tier will get as red wine tier exclusive videos are 2 per month. So that's going to make it easier too for me to do only just 2 videos per week on my regular YouTube channel, because I am planning on doing so much more exclusive video content for my Patreon. And this is on top of everything else we're doing for Patreon, my monthly chatty live shows with the red wine tier, my reading sprints, our seasonal buddy read for the red wine tier, and we also do other buddy reads just with both tiers of Patreon, and just chatting in Discord and all of that fun stuff. Like it's going to be a good time. Like I am so much looking forward to all of the stuff we're going to be doing in Patreon this year. It's going to be a really fun year. And finally, I do want to figure out Instagram. And what I mean by that is I want to figure out my own personal schedule for posting on Instagram. I want to make a schedule and stick to it. I want to figure out what type of Instagram content I want to concentrate on. Is it reels? Is it just like regular posts? Are we doing wrap-ups? Are there certain kinds of content I want to do every month or every week? I really want to be intentional with my Instagram content. I'm not so concerned with growing my Instagram. Like that would be really nice, but once again, you can't really control how many people subscribe to you. But I'd like to actually be creating consistent content for Instagram. Right now, I do create consistent content in terms of my stories on Instagram, but I'm definitely a lot less consistent when it comes to my actual page. So I'd like to make a goal, just be intentional with it. Right now, for this video, do I have an idea of what those goals or intentions are going to be for my Instagram? No, because I still have to actually make a plan. My goal is to make a plan. Okay, that's my goal. All in all, I'm feeling super positive and excited about 2025. I just think it's going to be a really good reading year. I think it's going to be a really fun year for my YouTube. It's going to be fun for my Patreon, the Cozy Corner. I'm just so freaking excited for basically everything in 2025. I'm just ready for it to be 2025. If you guys like this video, don't forget to click the like button and comment down below. Let me know one of your goals for 2025. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and click the notification bell if you want to be notified every time I post new videos. All of my social media is linked down below in the description, including my Goodreads Instagram, my Patreon, and the link to the Hideaway Discord. Until next time, fellow readers, keep reading and living your best life.
Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.